Okay, so this is a quick video on how to go about answering questions that come in from a live Q&A event that you're participating in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just quickly show you how questions will end up in your Pubble dashboard, how you go about assigning them and managing the event, and if you're one of the experts that's involved in the event, how you quickly go about answering them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift into the Pubble dashboard. I'm going to use our community for this, but um, in your case, it will be whatever your community name is .pubble.io. So for us, our community name is pubble.pubble.io, but yours could be like ucc.pubble.io or nui galway.pubble.io, whatever your community name is. Okay, so that's going to load up. And when I get in here, this is our dashboard. So notice here on the left hand side, just the main layout of Pubble is this, right? And the left hand side, the kind of navy section, that's your navigation menu. The middle section is where content is displayed, and the right hand side over here, it gives you details about the particular section that you're in. So this is our general channel. So in the middle here is the chat that goes on in the general channel, and then on the right hand side is all of these people are actually subscribed to the general channel, so they see the messages that are actually posted in there. Okay, so when you're running a live Q&A, the questions from the live Q&A will appear in the live Q&A channel. Notice that when I log in here, I have no live Q&A questions in here. And the reason for that is that I'm not subscribed to any of the live Q&As. So over on the right hand side, if I see here live Q&A, see if there was all apps, if I had a live Q&A app and I was subscribed to it, the live Q&A all apps would show all apps that are in there, and live Q&A questions, your moderator apps, basically for the apps that I'm subscribed to, they would appear in this section here. So what I'll actually do now is I'll quickly create a live Q&A app, and you'll see that that section will change. So I'm going to go to our dashboard, and our dashboard, our admin panel, so only some certain people, only admins have actually access to your admin section, obviously enough. So if you're an admin of the community, you can access the section. If you're not, you can't. So this is the admin section, and what I got to do in here is click on apps, and notice here these are the different types of apps that are available on Pubble: Messenger, Community Q&A, Live Q&A, and obviously I'm talking about Live Q&A, so I'm going to click into that. If I click then to add a new app, I just click on the new app, app for YouTube video. Okay, and I click on add that, and basically there's a separate video on YouTube there if you want to go see what the app settings that you need to apply, or that you can apply. But so if you want to learn about applying the settings, just check out a different help video there. I'll include a link in the description to this one. But for me here, the important thing here, right, is that I'm actually subscribed to the app, so I'm a moderator of the app. So when I go in here, all I need to do is type my name and click on app and close, and basically that's me subscribed to the app. Okay, and see this little preview button up here? That's helpful there if you wanted to open it up and basically kind of test the app without actually deploying it on your site. So what I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to click back into the Pubble section. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to click in live Q&A. Notice here on the right hand side now it says test app for YouTube. That is the app that I just created there. And in the preview section, I click on post, and that will pop into, notice here that inside in the new tab, basically this is a test question appeared. And the reason that that's happening there is that I'm actually subscribed to the app. Okay, so when you reply to a question, like the way questions are managed on Pubble, is new questions, when questions are asked new and they're untouched, they basically come in and they're a new, and see the one here relates to the number of new questions. If I was to ask another question, and I'll post that. Now notice when I'm in the dashboard here that obviously that number changes to 2. The green marker on the top means that there's activity within that question. It's untouched. Okay, so there's different role types, right? I can, if I'm a moderator of an app, that means that I'm subscribed to the app and questions will come into my dashboard. But you can also assign questions to anybody that's on your team. They don't necessarily have to be subscribed to the app and get it in the live Q&A section. So if I was to assign to one of my colleagues, say if I want to assign this question to Alan or to, say, Shane, I can click on, search for their name, click on assign, and basically Shane now is assigned to answer that question. Notice that Shane's avatar has actually been added to the tile, and if I wanted to assign this to a particular department, say it wasn't an individual, I wanted to assign it to admissions or to the international section or whatever, or in our case here to the biz team, I can assign it to that team, and basically the biz icon has been added to the tile, so I know that that question has been assigned, and it would also get pushed into the biz channel. Okay, so that's how the moderator would go about assigning questions. Any question that you're assigned to will appear in my questions. So if I was to click on the my questions here, I can, any questions that that are assigned to me, any new questions will appear in the new sections. If I had worked in a question, i.e. I had replied to it, like if I had replied to this question, blah blah blah, post. When I go back, notice now that this question has been moved to in progress, and it's awaiting for the visitor to reply. So that question is now in the in progress tab, and basically, if I filter by waiting for visitor, so there are things that I have replied to, and it's kind of like back over to the visitor now if they want to reply or they may not reply. But I could also close out a question, and if I close out a question, it'll basically moved into the close stream. And this test question, that's the question I just worked on there. So it's basically moved through the full kind of life cycle of the question. So it's moved from new to closed. So these things are automatic, right? So a question moves from new to in progress automatically. Now you can choose to manually close a question. That doesn't kind of affect the client side, the public side of it. It's just like if you think you're done with the question, you can close it off so that basically the questions that you're kind of looking at and rereading, the in progress filter is kind of like are just the questions that need your attention, and then anything that's in enclosed you can kind of like park and forget about it. So that's the question flow is kind of quite simple. As questions come into the event and get assigned to you, they all get automatically pushed in. So if I was in my questions, right, and I asked another question, post that. I'll just post another. Post this. When I'm in Pubbles, okay, so I'm in my questions because I'm obviously signed in on the client side, which is me there as well, right? In live Q&A, there'll be 3 new questions. If I stay in the stream, if I was working on a question here, right, say posting another question, if I was working on that question, if I was working on a question, right, if I was inside and I was answering this particular question, and then when I go back to the stream, I click this little kind of arrow here to take me back to the stream. Notice here now that I have a green marker here to let me know that there's been activity inside in this question. So like the app, when you're moderating or when you're managing the questions, basically the notification should help you to draw your attention into the section that needs your attention. Okay, so notice here on the right hand side I clicked the app that I was subscribed to. So if I wanted to actually push a message out to the app, so I wanted to broadcast a message into the event, say I just want to say like welcome to everyone today, this is the team from the science department. Looking forward to answering your questions, blah blah blah. So you can basically push an update out to the app, and what that will do is actually push a message into the application, so that you can welcome people to the event, share a cool YouTube video, a tweet, or whatever you want, basically put into the update. If you wanted to share a tweet, push another. Basically, the type of content that you're pushing, you just need to flag it. So if it was a YouTube video, you can put in your YouTube URL there. If it was a tweet, put in the Twitter link, the actual link to the tweet right there. If it was an image or whatever, on the update as well, you can have a file and you can push the text. So basically, you can push those. Most of the time, the main kind of moderators of the event would actually be pushing the updates, but it's cool to see, rather than just like sitting there waiting for questions and hoping that people will ask you questions, like it's good to kind of push out updates out to the event as well to say, welcome people to the event, let them know that, you're here, delighted to be there and answering, willing to answer their questions. So that's the main thing. When you open a question as well, notice on the left-hand side here that the question gets opened. If you want, you can close those down. If they're closed down, you shouldn't miss the notifications, because you still get the green bar, or 2 new questions, 3 new questions, whatever will appear up here. Those are the main things. In terms of answering questions, Pubble is available for your Android phone. Just go to the Google Play Store and search for Pubble Messenger. And the same on iOS, so go to the App Store and search for Pubble Messenger, and you can actually answer the questions from the event. In terms of the things that tend to confuse people is, somebody logs into the event and there's no questions there for them to answer. Now that could be for 2 reasons. One, there could be no questions in the event, which is unlikely, but more than likely that will be caused by you not being subscribed to the application. So if you log in and there's no questions there for you, just have a look on the right hand side. See this option here, questions filtered by app. So any of the apps that you're subscribed to will be listed over here. So the more events that you do, the more apps will be there. But if you just want to filter by the event that you're in right now, you click on that, and basically that will filter and only show the questions coming in from the current app. If at any stage you need help from Pubble, or you need something that's confusing you, the most important button is the little help button down here. And if you click on that and contact Pubble, that will basically send a message to our team. That will get you live support from the Pubble team. So if you ask a question, why am I not seeing questions in here? Whatever you need help with, just ask your question there, and we'll jump in and we'll help you with whatever you need help with. So that's basically it. The logic is quite simple, right? So the client side widget is to be used by the public. That's really important, because like if you're on here and you're trying to answer the questions from here, it's not a good experience, and you also lose all of the kind of logic around assigning questions, managing questions, all that kind of stuff. Like the moderator app is designed for people who answer questions, so it's got the progress bar, it's got avatars, on as to who's been assigned to answer the question. If one of your colleagues is answering a question, up here it will say, Shane O'Leary is typing, John Deneen is typing, whoever is actually answering the question, it will show that on the actual tile as well. And that's most of it. The thing with live events is that kind of coming up to them, people can feel a little bit apprehensive about, I don't know how this works, or am I going to figure this out? But like the event actually helps you to figure it out very quickly, because you can see the questions are being pushed into you. You click into a question, you just type your response and hit the enter button. Then when you want to go back, you click on the back button, and notice here, right, 2 new questions. If I answer this question as well, this will go down to 1. Click on reply. Notice now there's only 1 question left in new. and push that out, then click the back button again. Notice now there's no questions, no new questions left for me to answer. If I click into the in progress, if anybody replies to any of these questions, there'll be a little green marker come up here to show you that there's a reply, and then you click into the in progress tab, and then there'll be a green bar on this is another question or whatever, and it will move, basically it will flag each question that needs your attention to you. Keep an eye out as well, like for the main moderators, they kind of need to keep an eye on the stream and all of the questions that are coming in, so that they can assign them to the people that they want to answer the question. You're automatically as well, as if I jump in, even though that question wasn't assigned to me, if I jump in and answer a question, you can see that my avatar is actually added to the tile. Even though I had assigned this question to Shane, because I had jumped in and actually answered the question, then my avatar is on the tile as well. And again, like if there was more people worked on, as kind of like replies build up in a question, and like somebody might start off with one question, and then you might need to loop in like the admissions team or the housing team or accommodation team or whatever. More people that have worked in the question, their avatars will be on there as well. There's also a couple of things here, right? If somebody asked a question that you didn't want in the public domain, just click on approved, and basically what that will do is change the question so that it's not in the public domain, it gets removed from the public stream. You could also, like, say if somebody asked the question but they asked it publicly, but you really feel as if they kind of included detail there, and they should have asked that privately, you can change that to private. And what that will do then is like basically remove the question from the public stream, and when you reply, just that person will get notified. Okay, so that's the main functionality that's included in the app, and that should be plenty there to get you going on using the app. Again, just to reiterate, if you need help at any stage, just click on the Ask button and get in touch with us, and we'd be delighted to help you. Thanks for watching.